Hello, and welcome back to episode 4
Bruh.
of Adulting is a Bitch. ये दुख काहे खत्म नहीं होता. Just like this podcast, it doesn't end. But like you can see, we're smart people. We double down on what works for us. So we're back here again with a brand new guest and a brand new episode. And this episode, we're going to talk about relationships. Not relationships are the only thing we're about. Talk about those also, but across the spectrum. And I think Raghav will explain better because, like always, I didn't want to do this episode.
Yes. I know most of y'all thought कि 3 एपिसोड के बाद ये लोग रुक जाएंगे और हमें थोड़ी शांति मिलेगी, but no. we ऐसे कैसे इतनी आसानी से कैसे?
We are resilient.
We are resilient. That's one thing that we have learned as we adulted. So before we get into what this episode is gonna be about, we'll introduce you to Anisha. Anisha, if you can help our viewers, our 10 viewers understand.
So now we have a lot of viewers, guys.
Yeah, we've gone to 20. So yeah, Anisha, tell us about.
Just tell us a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself.
Okay, so me being me, I am your socially awkward adult, still navigating life, but mostly now no fucks given adult.
Nice.
So reaching a good part of my life. I think that's the 30s hitting.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's me working in advertising and going in at it.
Not nice.
Not nice. That part not nice. No fucks given about it.
Yeah,
That's
that's very
nice.
That's the good part.
That's nice. No, great.
I like when she said, I'm the no fucks given adult. Both of us were just like,
Nice.
It's like came from the heart.
Yeah,
That's how I want to
yeah.
be.
Yeah. Like to our 20 viewers, that reaction was not scripted. Not that a lot of we do is scripted. Most of it is like, us just
Dil
being
ki
us.
awaaz hai.
Yeah.
Dil ki
Dil
awaaz.
ki
So this episode, which again Aman didn't want to do, is about the relationships that you have as an adult. And when we talk about relationship, it's not just who you date or who your partner is, but it also how your relationship with your parents and family has evolved. The different kind of relationships that you form outside of your immediate circle, which could be somebody with who you're working with, people you probably are in a football group together. So we're gonna explore all those relationships because I feel that again, if we adulting doesn't happen in a silo, it happens in a context, and how in previous episode we figured that the where you live forms a big part of that context. The other important part of that context is people around which you're adulting, around whom you're adulting. So today we are exploring our relationships with those people who form that context in which we are adulting. So I would like to start with like the most obvious first question should be, what do you think are the most important relationships in your life? In fact, if I had to ask you 3 relationships that's most important to you at this point of time, we'll start with you, Anisha, because you're our guest.
Thank you. At this point, see, it's very simple for me. My mom, that's basically my family, and my friends. These are the only important relationships in my life. I think as you grow older, your circles become smaller, right? You actually get to know what matters to you the most. So this is it. And friends also very small circle, like 2 or 3 friends max. Like it's so I don't know how it evolves. In your 20s, you're like, oh, sabke saath dosti karna hai, sabke saath ghumna hai, all of that nonsense. But then as you grow up, you kind of tend to focus on the ones that actually add value to your life, right? And your family, of course, always does, no matter what kind of relationship you have at the end of the day. Your family remains, right? And then your friends, that's where the major change happens. You come down to your 2, 3 very close friends who even if you don't talk to like for 6 months or a year, you can always just be like, hey, I need to talk to you like after that, and it will be fine. and that's how you know that that friendship will survive no matter what.
Correct.
So these are very important for me.
Hmm.
Whatever follows your work friends and your other whatever acquaintances that you find that come and go in your life, you know how much time to impart to them, because time becomes a very important factor in your life as you keep growing, right? That's a part of adulting, that you realize that your time is very important. You only invest it where you think is important for you.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think family and friends is where I draw my line.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
What about you, Aman? Three
No.
relationships which you feel are the most important.
I think for me also it's the same. Family first,
Hmm.
friends second,
Hmm.
um, and I think sounds a bit cliche, but I think now I'm trying to figure out my relationship with myself.
Hmm.
Like in a sense,
Hmm.
never sort of focused on that for so many years. I think in collective community like ours, you're always told to look at others, not
Hmm.
yourself. So yeah, these three are the most important relations for me. Like I stay with my parents. Like I voluntarily I chose to move back to my hometown and stay with my family. Like obviously part of it was work,
Hmm.
but the major part and part of it was circumstances, COVID, all of those things. But I want to be there. Obviously, it's frustrating also,
Hmm.
but it's a choice I make. So they are very important for me. My parents, my sister, my brother-in-law, all these people,
Hmm.
and and then comes obviously friends. For me, maybe it's still not maybe 2 3 friends. I'm sort of a like just outgoing person. But I get what you're saying, Anisha. That like from the 20s to now, early 20s to now, like your expectation and the sort of friends you have changes a lot.
Hmm.
And I think that has helped. Like now, I know the friends who are important to me, the friends who are just like there for society's help, just like that.
Hmm.
And I know who to go to what for. Like
Hmm.
I know
Each one plays a
correct
specific
plays
role
a specific
in your
role in my life at that time. And yeah, lastly, I think ideally this should be the first, but the relationship with myself, like I think we all grow up with context, right? We all grow up with baggage, we all grow up with scars, and you sort of, it takes a lot of time to figure that out. Like, you have, and I think obviously the way we are with mental health and the stigmas attached to it, like you don't understand that so much. I think the more you understand that, not only from a mental health perspective, but otherwise also, it just helps so much in life.
But this is where also there is another thing that, like when you are focusing on yourself also, and you say that to your friends as in this part of your life, they understand it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, he or she wants just some alone time, wants to just spend it like potatoing the day out. That's fine, and they'll totally get it also. So that I think is what actual adulting feels like. Like you understand that your friend just needs space right now. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you?
For me, like while I was listening to you guys, there's some points that came, and I look if I can expand from three. But if I had to list it down, I think for me, the at this moment at least, the most important relationship is with my partner. The second, and I'm saying this very pragmatically, the second most important relationship right now is my work relationships, because they define a lot of how I'm feeling at this moment. If my work relationships are going well, especially probably because I'm in a service industry, which means I'm servicing clients. And if that relationship is doing well, it means my work is doing well. And that gives me a lot of peace, that gives me a lot of comfort.
Yeah.
That also probably gives me more money, which we all need as an adult, right? My invoices are getting cleared, right
End of the
time and
month.
everything.
Yeah.
I mean, emotionally maybe that's not in the second priority, but if I like look at it very pragmatically, I think my work relationship is the second relationship are is the second most important relationship I having right now. uh Third would be family. uh uh then when you were talking about yourself, I mean your relationship with my mind, I can't differentiate that because I am my mind, right? Like I can't call it a relationship. That's me, my mind is me. But my relationship with my body, that is something that I've last 1 year at least I've like started giving a lot of value to. because I'm somebody who's abused my body a lot, one way or another, and now I wanna like take care of it. Like now I wanna treat it with more respect. As like in a relationship, you like you have to give respect to the other party. I want to give respect to this party now, which I haven't in a long, long.
Clean out everything and start afresh.
Yeah. So yeah, those are the most important relationships in my life at this moment. Now, before we get into exploring each of these relationships and the nuances within them, I first thing that like I want to start with before that I want to start with asking you guys like how easy or tough has it become to start or form a relationship as we have adulted? Like because I feel earlier like when we were in our schools and colleges there was a common context. Uh, uh, that now we don't have that. So how has this experience been with you as you have adulted? Like in fact we can start from right from school, like how has the way the approach of forming relationships changed for you? Again, we'll start with you, Anisha.
So school it's very simple. You are in the same school, you're in the same class, you're competing with each other, you're playing with each other. There is tuitions after that. You basically live 12 hours around the same people, right? Like स्कूल के लोग ही ट्यूशन में सेम ट्यूशन में जाते हैं, उन्हीं के साथ खेलना भी है बाद में. So it's all the same colony, all the same people. So it's very easy to make friends at that point. You don't have to like, and especially as kids, you don't even like have those kind of, preset thoughts about people. You don't even think about people in a certain way because we are just like, साथ में है, साथ में रहेंगे.
There's no conditioning.
Yeah, there's no conditioning involved over there. So as you go into college, that's where it starts. That's where your little clicks form and like, oh, this person is like this and this person is like that. That's where the, conditioning of how you should be and how you should not be starts. So that's where for me, even though we had a great, big, huge college gang, it was still, even those college gangs used to have little pockets, right? So
every group has a subgroup.
There will be like अभी जैसे हमारे पास अगर 10 लोगों का WhatsApp ग्रुप है उसमें से 3 जन का अलग से है. So that is there. So that happens very often in college. That's where I think we start losing that, कि everybody is fine. Kind of that mentality goes away and then we start, finding our kind of people like who match our thoughts or our upbringing and all of that nonsense comes into play. As I have moved into, my actual adulting that I've come down to, I've realized that it's not about the other people that I'm interacting with. It's just that right now where my friendships lie is where my boundaries are. The people who are okay with my boundaries are my friends. That's it. So बचपन में तो क्या है, चलो जिसके साथ जैसे भी चलता है, झगड़ा करोगे फिर 2 days later you are again gonna be in the same playground, same thing. वहीं पे एक दूसरे का मुंह देखना है तो फिर But then that's what, like as you grow up, those kind of things, you realize a lot of important things also. There is not just the negative part of your cliques forming, but there is also this part of like you realize who you are as a person, and how you want to spend your time. So the people you choose to spend time with becomes important in terms of your boundaries. That's why I think like my adulting friendships are very different from what I would have chosen, let's say even like 5 years back. Like 25, I met my best friend when I was 25 and we are still going strong, but it was at a workplace that we met.
I feel like, see, for me as a person, it's been easy making friends always. Like, I'm not going to say, like, I'm not going to play that down. It's just been like someone who likes making friends. Obviously, it was easier in school, like what you said. Absolutely was true. You're sitting in front of me, I'll slap you on the head, you slap me on the head, we're friends. Like, it's like as simple as that. Some shit like that will make you best friends for like 10 years.
साथ में punishment मिल गया चलो हाँ.
Arey, you're also
We'll
punished.
kneel down at the outside the
Now
class.
we are well, best friends for
Best
life.
friends.
So obviously that is there, but I think the flip side to that is you don't know why you're friends.
Hmm.
You're friends because of that common context, but you don't know why you're friends. Like while growing up, you figure people are different, right? Like initially everyone paint them with the same brush, but growing up you realize people are different. You like different things. Someone else might like something else. And hence you sort of grow apart also from some friends you've grown up with. I think once you get to college and like just I like once you start to adult, this is one of the few things I like about adulting. Very few. One of the very few things. Is that you can, I said this earlier, so you can choose your own weird people you want to be with.
Yeah.
Like you can choose your tribe. You know what you like. Like if I know I'm a Bollywood fan, I know if someone else is dancing on Bollywood music, we just have a common, that's the common connect then I'm making. The cultural context, you still find it. But you find it in things you know you like. It's not cultural context which is forced on you or like common context. It's not like a school or a college you share. It's activities which you like doing, someone else also might like doing. And that oftentimes brings you together. I feel like friendships are more meaningful now.
Yeah.
Because I am choosing to be friends with that person. That person is choosing to be friends with me in a limited time. Earlier we had time to do whatever we wanted all day. Like I can't do high drama, high involvement friendships. Just can't, man.
Yes.
Fuck off.
Yes.
I have many things going on in my life. I don't have time. I don't have the mental space. Low key friendships where I know you'll be there for me if I ever need you. I'll be there for you. If you want to chill, we'll chill. Even the chilling is very low key. Like you were discussing also, we just meet and chill. You were saying about your common friend and all. So I think those are the friendships I look forward to now, and it's just easier for me to have more meaningful friendships now. There are some friendships you make over a passage of time, and some which you might be shorter in duration but deeper because you all connect on similar things.
So for me, what has changed is like earlier I didn't even think about really are relationships important or not. I never really thought about them. They were those which existed, and I was not really seeking anything new. I mean, of course, I was seeking, like when I was dating, like of course you would like seek new dates, like that's different, this thing. But apart from that, all other relationships just existed. I didn't really actively work on improving them. I didn't really acknowledge that those relationships exist in my life either. They were just there, like as I've grown older and as I've adulted, I've started acknowledging that okay, this is a relationship and it's adding value or not adding value to me, to my life, or at least it affects me in some form or some way. And once you acknowledge it, then probably the other filters start coming. That okay, how much do you want to invest in it, not invest in it? Those are like secondary questions. Then. So that is one thing that has changed. The other thing is that I was earlier, like when I was younger, I was too much in my head. So for me to go out and let's say friendship or any other sort of like even if it's like a learning relationship, like getting a mentor, like reaching out to somebody and like asking them to mentor you, like those things I did not do. Like I wasn't as outgoing as I am now. Although I was always social, I always wanted to be. I was always social being. I always enjoyed people around me. I always enjoyed having a big circle and everything. But I was just too much in my head to really go and ask or take that first step or make things happen. Uh, that has changed now. Now, if there is a certain relationship or there's a certain relation, let's call it like that I want, like then I'd go out and I'll get it done. Like I'll ask for it. I'll call people. I'll make it happen. Like I'll if it's work thing, I'll go on LinkedIn. I'll type that. Like
So it's become much more easier for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll like so that's how it has changed. That I'd asked you guys like how has the approach changed? Like for me, there was no approach. Now there is approach at least. One relationship that we all think that is very important is our relationship with our family. family, and I would like to differentiate family in the way that within family you have your parents, and then you have your siblings, and
Yeah.
then third tier that you have
Yeah.
your extended family.
Yeah.
Cool.
Who no one cares about.
Let
I hope my extended family.
your extended family are
You
our
are
biggest
I-
viewers.
them.
I care about them. I'm saying like for others, people don't
You know,
care about.
And this is on record.
Yeah.
Our biggest viewership comes from his extended family.
They're great people, dude.
So
That's why.
please
Now
keep
you
watching.
have already screwed it.
No. I'm
Please
talking
keep
about
watching
work.
us.
You know, guys, we'll cut this out in the edit.
How has your relationship with your family changed or evolved over time?
And here you're talking about like which segment of the family?
You tell me. Like you can choose. You can start with your parents or even combine. Like if it's, I don't know how it looks for you. For me, it
Yeah.
looks different. Like it.
Correct. It looks
Yeah.
different for everyone.
Yeah.
For me, I'll go first. I think I'll talk about my parents right now. My relationship has changed quite a bit. Like, and I can see that over the last 6-7 years. When I went out of the city, that was the first time I was sort of like alone and away. Initially, obviously, very tough. Everyone feels bad about leaving family. But I think there was a period of time where I was very happily away from my parents, where like I needed that space to grow as an individual, and I needed that time. Obviously, we speak and all of those things, but I was very happy getting that time away because I was growing as a person myself. And obviously, at one point when you're at home, things get overbearing. However less they try to be, but that's just our nature, I think, as Indians and maybe I don't know, families here. So I think, but now in the last few years, I've sort of seen that whole circle as like it's come full circle. Where there was a time where I wanted to go out with my friends more than my family, and I'd feel like it's cooler to chill with friends. I feel like it's very cool to chill with family. Like I really enjoy it. Like I've come to Bangalore to just chill with my family, and like where I used to want time away to be able to get my own space. I feel like that has also changed now. Like, and now I think that the interesting bit, at least for me, because I stay at home and all, like it's physical space is also shared, right? Is that even my parents are cognizant that I'm an adult. Obviously, they still tell me, "Isko aise karo, isko aise karo." So, मतलब habit है कि अरे, my mom will tell me you haven't kept your clothes properly or whatever. But we are all cognizant that we all need our own space. Like my parents need their own space as individuals. I need my own space as an individual, and we give each other that space.
Same thing, like with your how you said about your parents becoming more, they become more chill over
Yeah.
time as they see us growing up. So the same thing with my mom also. She has become my friend more than anything else. She's become more of like somewhat of a confidant for me, where I will as a kid I used to just go to my sister and whatever secrets and all सब बहन के साथ होता था. Now it's the other way around. Like it's me and my mom against the world kind of thing. So it's really weird because when you were a kid, of course, like मम्मी तो डांटती रहती है, चप्पल वप्पल सब फेंके हैं मेरे पे हो चुका है. So all of that has now changed into this part where I can actually tell ki okay, yeah, fine, I do smoke. Yes, that happens. And then she's like, okay, ठीक है, लेकिन कम कर दे. ऐसे बेलन नहीं आता है मेरे चेहरे पे अभी. that kind of a thing. So she has become my best friend, sort of a thing, right? Like I can tell her things that I would not normally have told her. Like फट जाती थी मेरी अगर बोलने के. There was a time she even told me to like stay in a live-in with someone just because we were together. So she's and this is an old school Catholic mother, okay? Like she prays to Jesus, koi sin na kare meri bachchi and all of that. And she has come to the point where she understands ki this age is different, this generation is different, they have different things. She till date does not understand my job, but very proudly says, "हाँ, marketing में है ये, कर रही है कुछ." But that's the thing. So like it has. I think we have reversed roles a bit also. अब मैं डांटती हूँ. Like please go to the doctor. Like just get it checked. Like just go buy this. Just go do this. Whatever. Like So that kind of is the evolution of my relationship with my mom, at least. Like, I think being the youngest child, I was never listened to as a child, obviously, because choti hai, kya pata isko. And to coming to the part where now your family actually listens to you, takes your advice, that is the kind of change I see as you grow up. They the cutest part is them understanding that we are growing up, and it's okay that they are living away from us. I have lived with my mom till like I was 25, because today I can still say that I'm living in another city, but mummy hai.
Correct.
That that
Nice.
has been the way of growing up into this.
So something that I've noticed, I mean, and this is just right now with your conversations, is that both of you all left home pretty late, and I left home pretty early. I left home before I turned 15, actually. Just gonna turn 15, and that like changes things. You know, my parents had always instilled in me that eventually, bro, you have to become independent and live your own life, right? Like you have to become responsible of yourself. That they had instilled in me always. Probably instilled me too much, because then from that point onward, I always like it all became about me. Like it was my life, so I lead it like how I'm supposed to lead it. I wasn't seeking too much advice from my family, parents, or anybody in general. Uh, which also means that you wouldn't appreciate too much intervention or
Yeah.
intrusion either, because you're like my मेरा life है ना, तो like मैं कर रहा हूँ, like करने दो फिर. So, and now if I look back, like I'm almost gonna turn 32 now, so I've spent majority of my life outside home now. So for me, the part where I am alone is bigger now, right? So that is one thing that has happened. And but what has changed recently, and that's probably the biggest change, is my nephew. You know, a kid really brings
Yeah.
the family together again, and it's such a positive influence on family relationships, because suddenly you have somebody who all of you agree that you love, all of you agree that you want to spend time with it, and that kid like knows कि like मेरा है भाई भाव है यहाँ पे, ठीक है.
I'm
तो
the boss.
बॉस यहाँ पे, ठीक है. तो मेरे को अभी तुम यहाँ चाहिए, वो अभी तुम वहाँ चाहिए, वो like वो करेगा वो, and you have to be okay with it. So that has been beautiful. And that's also a relationship. Although my nephew feels I'm too tough on him, I'm the only one who's tough on him, because I want him to know that आगे जाके ऐसा नहीं होने वाला. Eventually है ना, अपना अपना फिर लगेगा तो संभालना पड़ेगा आगे जाके. So I'm like थोड़ा सा act in front of him, which like, but apart from that, like having a kid in a house is a huge deal, I feel like. And as an adult, you also like, I think in between there was a phase when you were probably a teenager and you're still figuring out with your puberty and everything, where you don't like बच्चा तुमको दे दो, like क्या करना है इसका यार, like क्या करूँ इसको, पकड़ते कैसे and all that. But as you move towards 30s and all that, you again start becoming fond of babies and kids, because like you start again probably seeing a little bit of your childhood in them, or you start seeing the innocence कि अरे इसको तो ये भी नहीं पता है कि दुनिया कितनी खतरनाक है बाहर, इसको लग रहा है सब अच्छा चलेगा. So whatever, you will protect them, you have some protective instinct as well. So that's something that's been really good.
I think it's one of life's miracles, dude.
Yeah.
Like it just makes you. Life is pretty tough, guys. Like adult life sucks.
Yes.
Like life is pretty tough. No one is very happy and all of that. But these sort of things just remind you that okay, life can be beautiful also.
Yeah.
Like even my sister just had a baby a few months ago. Couldn't believe it, dude. Like in the sense, it's just brilliant.
Yeah.
So like great tip, have kids, guys.
Yeah.
Like just
Have one, but
I'm very happy my sister had a baby. I don't have to do anything. Like, I have no interest. I'll go meet him, chill with him, and then done.
So I mean, that was of course family. Before we jump into friendship and dating, which everybody wants us to talk about, but will probably not talk as much. But I want to talk about work relationships, which is completely different from family, like diametrically opposite. But I feel they are very important. I put it in rank 2 in my this thing. So what I want to know is from you is like, how does what a healthy work relationship, how does it look like? And how do you cultivate it? Uh, what are your thoughts?
See, for me, there is a very simple demarcation. If you're my boss, you don't need to know anything about my personal life.
Mhm.
It's very simple. But anyone who is working with me, I make it a point that I cultivate at least a good relationship with them, right? Because they are going to determine my mood for the next 8-9 hours, right? So, like, if they are happy working with me, I will be happy working with them. It's as simple as that. So I keep a little bit of a personal nuance with them also, so that I can build a bond and sustain that. And it's beautiful also because, like I said, I found my best friend at work. So, but then also know that there is a certain thing you can't like hang out with me all days of the week. Like it's as simple as that. कि मेरे को थोड़ा break चाहिए तुमसे. बस. That has to be a cognizant fact. But my work relationships are very, very defined. There are certain things you will be involved in, and after that, I will not give a fuck. Basically.
Interesting. Like, it's interesting because I have a totally different approach to this.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, it's interesting to see how people have so many different approaches to this. For me, there's also like one more context that I now work with my dad, and like we work in a legacy sort of firm. Like he started the firm, and so the people I work with are very different from the people I used to work with earlier. I was working in a job for 5 years. So you work with people similar to you, similar age group, similar education, similar backgrounds, similar context. Versus now I work with people who are like 30 years older to me, who see me from the time I'm born, literally, and like who have very different context, like very different struggles in life, no common connect. So my approaches with them are totally different, which they have to be for them to feel comfortable with me and for me to feel comfortable with them. But like when I was working in the corporate sector and like when I had like a working with people similar to us, for example, I as a person have no like work life demarcation. Like there's no like professional aspect and personal aspect. Like, and for me, when I moved to these new cities, like work was a great way to make new friends and to even get to know the city. So, and all of us used to be in a similar age group, similar challenges, similar struggles with the job, similar hating on the job. So I think it makes it very easy to be friends also. But and even with my bosses, like I've been very fortunate to work with some very nice people who've gone beyond that boss thing. Like they've called me into their house. I've met their families. Like they know about my family. For me, a healthy work relation, then coming to the like point is, it should not be a hindrance to work. But I'm not that person who can just talk about work. So for me, a healthy relation like is that when I know you as a person, I know what you like, what are common interests, where I can fuck around with you, where I can do something, and then talk about work. I am not that transactional as a person. I know I've worked with people who just talk about work. They're done and they do their work well. I do my work well. We're both happy. But I don't feel satisfied with that. I want to know you as a person. I want to know more about you and then be able to do the work. I feel more comfortable like that. So that's how it is with when I was at the corporate role.
So for me, with bosses, like with people who are supposed to be in hierarchy above you, with them I'm like you decide how you want to do this. You want to keep it strictly work, I'll do that. If you want to have mix and mix, I'll do that. You want me to come to your home, have drinks with you, I'll do that. You tell me what works for you.
That's a good approach.
Right? Like because my relationship with you is very important. You know, like it's going to define a lot for me. So you decide, bro or sis, and I'll follow that. And I've always found at least in India, the corporates, like the system wants you to act like a machine, and I hate that bit. So I have always been the guy, otherwise for everybody else, the guy who brings the human element into the things. Like, you know, who wants you, like, who has empathy for you as a person. कि तुम्हारा job में जैसा कर रहे हो तुम कर रहे हो, but ठीक तो बना. You know, like because ऐसा नहीं कि तुम मतलब अगर मेरी लगती है तो तुम्हारी भी लगती होगी ना. Like तो एक्सपेक्टिंग कि मेरी लगी तो मैं सपोर्ट एक्सपेक्ट करूँ, वो तुम्हारी लगी तो मैं ऐसा कि नहीं ब्रो वर्क रिलेशनशिप, तो आई कांट डू दैट. So apart from that, I've always been the guy who brings, or I would like to believe, who brings some sort of warmth in the work relationship. So with everybody who I've worked with, because I come from a place of empathy, it has automatically led to people becoming friends. Like, so that has happened. It isn't as much as कि मतलब जिगरी हो गए और मतलब कि अब तो जिंदगी साथ में रहेंगे, but like relation की आज भी like if I go to an ex colleague and I say like क्या कर रहा है, like do you want to meet up, like I think their answer would be yes, like. So that's it. That, and with people who I'm managing, like for whom I am the boss, like with them I wanna be their mentor. I do not wanna be their boss. I like because I think like because when I joined corporate, I think like the people above you want your work, but they don't want to groom you. They don't want to. They don't want to care about how you're growing as a person, and I've found that very faulty. So I don't want to be that kind of senior. Like I want to be a senior who also wants to ensure that you're growing as a person. So I would be your mentor. But of course, I would switch to the boss mode. Like if you're not delivering the work, that needs to be done.
That needs to be done.
Yeah, there's some joke, let's say, which I would crack with somebody who's in the same level, but I would not do it with a junior. Like that, there is one small boundary that I maintain. Like small distance, I do maintain. Yeah, that I'm not your friend. I'm your mentor.
Lucky them.
Like I do that. Moving on to the next relationship that we all discussed, and I'm gonna put it this way that they are adult relationships, like in the sense when adult relationship sounds really wrong, but relationships like your friends, friends, as you adult, right? Like adult
You sound very
relationship.
creepy.
Where are you going with this?
Yeah, sorry, wrong episode.
You don't have any such relations with law adults, no?
How has your approach to friendships as well as dating changed over the time? And how do you go about it? Like, what's if you? I mean, I'm not saying what's your game, but I'm saying like how do you approach it in a healthy way? Both friendships as well as dating.
When it comes to dating,
Yeah, that's the part we want to listen.
that
It's very creepy, dude.
it is.
I'm not like.
Honestly, that is most of the guys. Okay.
That's
Shots
true.
fired. Shots
Fair,
fired.
fair, fair,
Shots
fair.
fired.
Fully. Yeah.
See, when I'm not saying girls aren't, we are also very creepy.
Fully
sometimes.
agreed. But yeah.
But dating is very complicated now. It's just what do you want? Just be clear. Like we have become adults, but we don't know what we want in the most basic relationship that we look for. So it's situationships, no strings, this that. I'm like, if you have reached a certain age, be little clear about what you actually have thought about in your life. If you don't want anything, don't do anything. It's fine. Because now it's just like, okay, you meet someone, you go on a date, and then you figure out it's basically a dance. Trying to figure out कि किसको क्या चाहिए, कहाँ पे mid ground आएगा, कौन से वाले पे okay होंगे, and then it will go into something or not go into something or whatever it is. But I think over the years, I at least have evolved in a way that red flags दिख जाते हैं. I was very naive. It took me a long time to reach her. But now it's just like on the first date, I can at least take out 2 to 3 red flags and be like, छोड़ो ना, हो गया काम. And that's most of the dates now. So, भाई कुछ नहीं रखा है dating market में अभी के लिए तो.
It's like we're talking about stock market.
अभी डाउन जा रहा है.
बहुत down जा रहा है.
Bull run नहीं है.
कोई फायदा नहीं invest करके. So, but then again, like I think it has become more complicated also because of the kind of exposure we have to things now, right? Especially with the younger generation, it is उनका तो मेरे को समझ में ही नहीं आया है क्या सीन है. So I'll not even go in there. But at least for us, it's when we reach this stage of our life, we know who we are. So we want someone who complements that. Not that you have to like what I like. You just have to complement it. So in that sense, that's where okay, check boxes come in. There may be too many check boxes after a certain point of time. But I think that's where we are going wrong. We are not exploring people. We are just looking at check boxes. So, sad scene. chal raha hai.
So I think it's very interesting what you said about dating. I also like broad alignment of where you're coming from. Also sound like I'm in a corporate meeting, but no, I think like our generation, we're the in betweens, dude.
Yeah.
Like we don't know what the fuck we're doing. Like, I feel like the younger generation, I genuinely feel like they're very sorted. You all are very clear. You know what I think. Whatever you want to do, you're doing. Very clear, very good, very nice. They are happy. They are chilling. My parents' generation, they were also like, we have to get married, we have to have a family, we have to be adults. They were able to do it. We're very liberal, very pulled back by our own legacy. I feel like I think that's why people don't know in our age what they're looking for. Like people are just they want to get into something maybe casual, but they have some emotional attachment, or the opposite. So I think if I feel very jealous of people who found like the love of their life when they were kids. Bro, y'all are like sorted. Like either that or you're already like early 20s you found someone, sorted. By the time you come to your late 20s and if you've not found someone, your solid struggle is happening, bro.
Yeah.
Like solid struggle in life is happening because you have so much baggage. Everyone has been naive. You've fucked up so much that like you're also pretty fucked up, love.
Yeah.
And you're expecting the other person to be okay with your fuck ups, but you don't want to be okay with their fuck ups. So, solid khichdi is there. And these apps are also just, they make it so much worse that
Clickbait hai sab.
like, life has just become ads. Like, you're like an ad for someone now.
Yeah.
People are just like, we're banner ads. People are clicking on one or the other. And I think it's like a paradox of choice now. That because of these apps, right, left, we have so much choice that even if you want to be serious about something, you're always at the back of your mind thinking, okay, if this doesn't work, there's someone else. So it's I think it's just about, it's a weird time. Like you have to be clear, maybe, I don't know, that clarity where it comes from, and have to be willing to put in that effort. Willing to get to meet people also, which I don't know how you do. So that's where I'm very confused about all of this and very unsure. What about you?
So for the longest time, I did not want to get into a relationship because when you're younger, I felt that everybody was getting into a relationship for wrong reasons. Like people wanted, either somebody just wanted sex, that's why they're together. Somebody else wanted a relationship so that they can show off कि देख मेरा girlfriend, देख मेरा boyfriend है, you know. And I felt like ये सब करना ही है. Those are things that you want as a younger person. I also wanted them. So like यही करना है तो फिर इसको context set करके like let's have whatever we have to do ना. Like why do I get into a relationship like just for sex? You know, like then I'll hook up, right? So which is why for the longest time I was like, I'm not gonna get into one relationship. Like it doesn't make sense for me. And the thing with me was like, which you were also kind of talking about, is that I always wanted things to be very honest and transparent. You know, like I was like, I mean, I used to be called anal because of that, but I was somebody who was like, you know, मुझे बता दे कितना, like अगर मिलना है या बात करना है तो कितना करना है. Like do you want कि सिर्फ Saturday करेंगे, I'm fine with it. सिर्फ पूरे दिन करना है, ठीक है. But just set that up for me, like set that context for me, so that like I know, okay, this is where I have to work, like work within this boundary. Yeah, and I would do that from my end. Like I would be very honest, like always. Like I would be very honest, like that. This is where I am right now. This is what I'm looking for. If it works for you, let me know. If it doesn't work for you, it's a very like why like fuck your mind up, fuck my mind up, or like randomly like telling you stories and all. And like I hated those boys. Like I had these friends, like you know, like who were supposedly players. Like अभी आजकल के players different है. उस समय के players का क्या game होता था? उनका game होता था कि लड़की को शादी के सपने दिखा दो, ठीक है, तो वो पट जाएगी. And I was like, क्यों? क्यों दिखा रहे शादी के सपने भाई? It's like what nonsense is this, like, right?
Yeah, dude, that's
Yeah, bro, and those were the biggest players. And I was like, probably everybody wanted a Shah Rukh Khan, and these guys like promised
Yeah.
them the Shah Rukh Khan stereotype. I was like, man, nahi karte wala ye sab. Like that headache, and then
Yeah.
eventually you would have to tell the truth, right? Like,
Yeah.
kitna hi छुपाओगे?
भाई
I like-
एक टाइम पे तो खत्म होना ही है.
खत्म होने ही, like me going and doing, like telling all of that, like I can't. Now I feel because you've grown up to a certain level, you've become very individualistic in your
Yeah.
lifestyle
Yeah.
and in your choices, and so is the other person.
Yeah.
And like marrying those two things is only gonna get tough. So what I feel is that a lot of the conventional ways of relationships, right? Like how we have seen from our parents and what we have
Yeah.
seen, what girlfriend boyfriend are supposed to be, I think needs to change, needs to evolve, and not call it situationship. It's a relationship, but like you both define
Yeah.
how it's gonna look like, and it could look like however both of you are happy with. Like don't there's no point living it up for somebody else. Like because I feel this is most important relationship that you have once you have it.
absolutely.
So when you have it, then like the idea should be like make both of you all comfortable in it, and whatever that looks like define it like and work towards it. So I feel that uh, labels don't work because they again generalize. They don't get into the nuances of two people coming together in a relationship. Uh, Call it a relationship, but like within that relationship, every relationship could and should look different.
Yeah.
And that should be defined.
Yeah.
That's what I feel. So I feel in general, world has become a very visual medium, right?
Yeah.
Earlier,
Yeah.
you didn't get to see so much of people. You know, like even if I knew Aman and I've met him, but I didn't get to see your lifestyle. You know,
Correct.
you on a holiday, you on a tuxedo, you in a kurta pajama, right? And what has happened is with this explosion of the entire visual media that has happened last 20 years, uh, everything is like I think people have started attaching way more value to aesthetics or visuals than everything else, and that has kind of seeped into dating as well. I
Yeah.
feel. In fact, I feel this is also seeped into friendships. I do feel that you know if you're conventionally good looking, your chances of having a bigger
Yeah.
social circle is
It's
higher.
Yeah.
Because it's just become more a visual medium, like everything, and same with dating apps. Like you're making a choice purely based on a visual. Nobody like at least boys don't even read the bio,
Yeah.
right? So you're purely making a choice on based on that. Like you
Yeah.
don't even think about ki, what if this person's background is this, she's coming from there. I might have more to talk about.
Yeah.
I might have more things common, or maybe this person's background is so different from me that it'd be interesting to know her.
Yeah.
Like those things have kind of gone out of the picture, and this has happened. Dating is one aspect of it, but even if you see who are our opinion makers and who are our influencers today, these are not the people who know the most. These are the people
Who appear to know.
who appear like you know
Yeah.
who look best when they're talking on a camera,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Unlike us.
Unlike us.
We are not these people, guys.
Yeah, we wish we were.
The crux of what we are all saying is that we are in a very weird stage of life where we are evolving. Our relationships are also evolving with us like that, and I think everyone is just figuring it out as we go along. Because adulting is a bitch, guys. Just saying. But yeah, I think it's very interesting to hear about perspectives which are similar and different at the same time. And I think maybe we might do another part on these things on this topic only. For the 20 viewers that we have, please let us know what you feel about this, and if you want us to talk more about relationships and which sort of relationships, then let us know about how you figure them out as well. And with that, I think we'll bring this to an end. Thank you so much. Thank you for taking
having
out time. It was really nice listening to your perspective. Made Raghav much more bearable.
Yeah.
With that, we'll bring it to a close. Thank you.